Dark greetings. Oh, you're muted.
I sure am.
Anyway, dark greetings.
Take two. Dark greetings.
How goes it?
Just top notch. It's a beautiful day outside, which has made me just,
Oh, it's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, no. It's like I have absorbed vitamin D.
I know, right? It's fucking crazy.
It's wild. So I think it helps.
Every year about this time of year, there comes a point where I'm like, man, maybe the depression was seasonal.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far, but more like
like maybe part of it was seasonal.
But it's not this bad all year round.
Yeah.
Which is nice. That there's a less depressing time of year.
You do love
Oh, there's my phone. Uh-oh. Have you frozen or are you just not moving? Oh, there we go.
I don't know what the hell that was about.
For a second, I thought you were just thinking and that's why you weren't moving, and then I realized you were frozen.
No, we're back talking about Vinland Saga after we had a little day off yesterday because you were off doing fun hosting duties.
Sure was. I sure was.
Doesn't sound like you had a great time.
No, it's just always very stressful and chaotic. There were technical difficulties and
oh lordy.
The people who were supposed to be running the lights didn't turn them on when they were supposed to, and they left us in the dark fully for 5 minutes.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, it was a bit of a thing, but
I don't love that for you, but I'm glad you survived.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into it with episode, I believe this is 13 of season 2.
So a couple of broad things first.
Yes.
These are super Arnheid heavy episodes.
Yes, they are.
They're super heavy on talking for the most part.
Very talky episodes.
And so I feel like my notes are a little more sparse than usual, especially for 14 and 15.
I was kind of feeling a similar way. So maybe this stream will wind up being a little on the short side just because these were some very introspective episodes.
And there's not a lot to comment on when things aren't really happening. Yeah. But also right off the top, new intro song,
and it survives Said the Prophet again,
and it's almost entirely in English.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Mm-hmm. There's one little section, I think it's probably the bridge that's not, but the rest is in English, which is wild.
I wonder what that's about.
But I was like, oh, a new song. Oh, I'm digging this song. Is this? Okay.
My boys.
Yeah.
I was rather confused by the beginning of episode 13, and it gets cleared up, but as I was watching, I was like, who the fuck is this? What the fuck is going on? Why are we with this person? As opposed to the multitude of people that we could be with. We could either be with Einar and Thorfinn back at Ketil's farm, or we could pick up where we left off with Ketil and Leif, and that was quite the happening.
Yeah, that was something.
But we did none of that.
This show loves starting off episodes with complete strangers. It
really does.
It's so common. But also I knew what was going on because before I clicked on the episode on Netflix, it had the one-line description or whatever, and it said something about a slave killing their masters.
Yeah, and
I was like, oh, that's what
this is. I saw that and I was like, okay, yes, but who is this and why are we focusing on him?
Yeah. Yeah. Hot take, dude deserved it.
Oh, 100%. If you're a slave owner, you totally deserve to be killed by the person you've enslaved.
Yep. And I feel like it just really shows how arbitrary slavery is when the guy's begging for his life and he's like, I'll be your slave now. And it's like, yeah, because there's no difference between you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just stupid. And it's he's acknowledging it, which it's wild because the only thing keeping people as slaves is society agreeing that those particular individuals are slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if everybody else was like, no, we don't think this person's a slave, you have no, like, claim to him. But if everybody's like, yeah, we agree.
Yeah.
That's wild. It could
Which,
be
like,
about
that's fucked
literally
up.
anybody. Yeah.
But, little more hints of Einar and Arnheid. Or I say hints. We'll get to that. But
Mhm.
another mention of the fact that Einar definitely has the hots for her.
Oh yeah, that's pretty obvious at this point.
But the old master ain't doing too good.
I like assumed he was dead.
As did I, and I was kind of glad that he wasn't, because he's a fun character, I will say. Or like, he's an interesting character, I think, to a degree.
Yeah. I mean, when Snake was like freaking out, very childish, by the way, but was freaking out about being starving and him not coming back, I'm like, I feel like a situation like that really emphasizes like the difference between people. Like, if you're expecting a person and they don't come when they're usually there, your thought is probably going to go in one of two directions. Either how dare they, or oh gosh, I hope something didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the former.
He very
And
much
to me,
is the former.
That's problematic, because my mind would immediately be like, oh, I hope nothing happened.
That's immediately, because as soon as he was like, oh, he's supposed to be back by now, I was like, oh shit.
And he's always back by that time. It's like, how selfish can you be, man? He's a little kid.
Really. Don't love Snake, but that's fine.
Nope.
Arnheid is quite the cook.
Yeah. Oh, fancy.
What is it with anime food? It always looks so good.
Oh, right. It's drawings, and yet
I
want it more than the actual food of my home.
Here we are. And she's so sweet.
Uh-huh.
Her whole thing about like, oh, I haven't like experienced a meal with like this much like laughter and smiling. I was like, ah, owie.
They're adorable together, and he's like doing the dishes for her. And
I know, which just makes
it's like they're a couple.
Which just makes all of the reveals in this and the subsequent episodes just even more of a gut punch.
Yeah, and I didn't see any of that coming.
My jaw dropped multiple times, and again, we will get to that.
Yes.
But, whoo boy.
Why is Thorfinn so interested in the Bibble?
Why is he so interested in the Bibble? I don't know.
I feel like there's got to be some significance of that, and maybe it's something that'll come back, but maybe it was just because that particular passage talking about like loving your enemy and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So maybe there isn't any more significance beyond that, but...
And also, I will say it's not surprising that Thorfinn can't read.
Oh, well, yeah. Who's going to teach him? Askeladd.
I don't know.
That's funny, a mental image.
Oh, kind of skipped this. I liked the transition of the sword swing to the axe impact. I thought that was some good... I suppose you would still call it cinematography, even if it's animated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some good cinematography. Not that this was a surprise, or not that this wasn't something I already knew, but Snake is a dick. He's just waiting to sell off the old master's things when he dies.
See, I feel like he's lying.
He might be.
I think he just doesn't want to admit he cares about him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, I can definitely see that being a thing. It's almost like a Thorfinn and Askeladd situation, except the roles are a little bit reversed.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, the amount of time he spends with him, that book can't be worth that much.
No. And, like, even, like, I'm sure books were worth a shit ton back then because they had to be written out by hand, but, like, can't be worth that much, brother.
No, especially because, I mean, yes, they were written by hand, they had hand illustrations and all that, but at the same time, literacy rates were so low that
who's buying?
Buy it, you know? It's like... So yeah, I don't believe him. I think he was lying because he's a man, you know?
Unfortunately, that is how it be.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, my notes really are kind of sparse for this because, like, they draw out conversations about things like him wanting to sell off the old masters things
Yep.
uh and like, you know, just these sort of little slices of life you get, like the dinner with Arnheid, Thorfinn, Snake, everyone, like that takes its time, which I appreciate.
It
Oh
was so
shit.
pleasant. Seeing them laugh like that was just like
Yes.
seeing Thorfinn like giggle, essentially.
Love him.
Totally different person.
Thorfinn, my beloved. But then we have the absolute bombshell reveal that the runaway slave who killed his master is Arnheid's husband.
Yeah, which is wild because at the beginning of the episode, he says something along the lines of like, "I'm coming for you. I'm
I'm
gonna
coming
find
for you.
you."
And I was like,
Yeah,
whomst?
yeah. So like, of course, at the time, it's like, "Oh, who could that be? Is it somebody we know? Is it going to be a new character?" Never occurred to me to think about Arnheid.
No, it didn't occur to me either. And I was so shocked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah. My last note is just Arnheid is married.
Didn't see that one coming.
Which, yeah, and it's interesting because Garter, her husband, like he seems fairly deranged. Like he's
He
got those
does
wild eyes.
seem fairly deranged, which, like, can't fucking blame him.
No, but at the same time, it's like he didn't kill the woman or the child at the slave owner's property.
And that was pretty cash money of him.
Yeah, so that's nice. So it's like he clearly hasn't totally lost it.
Mm-hmm. You're definitely allowed to lose it a little bit if you get, like, taken during battle and enslaved.
Yeah, and you know, dude's trying to like find his wife and kid. You know, and I
I kind of can't blame him.
Yeah, people would do a lot of stuff to
understandable.
So sure, but at least he didn't go too far, in my opinion.
No, I would agree. Which
I feel like
and
some
this,
people deserved it.
yeah, and this brings us to episode 14, in which she really didn't look too happy to see him.
It looked like such utter befuddlement.
Yeah.
Like she just didn't quite understand what was going on, but was also just like clearly very upset, adrenaline, you know, kind of going through, like not processing.
And then, of course, we get the reveal that she has a son, which the fact that he has not been around this whole time does not bode well for, you know, the implication of his fate, which I'm going to assume he's either dead or has been sold or was sold elsewhere.
Yeah. Well, at this point in the episode, she starts to say that like he is, and then, you know, kind of trails off and doesn't really say. So I assumed he was dead at that point.
That was kind of my assumption. And this whole interaction, though, Einar isn't even jealous. He just wants Arnheid to be free.
That is pure love.
Such a good dude.
Like, that's how you know that you actually love a person, is like you just want them to be happy. You want them to be in the best possible situation, even if it doesn't include you. You know, a selfish person would have been like, no, how dare, no, can't go with her husband.
He is a real one.
He just wants her to be happy. He wants to get her reunited with her husband.
And I absolutely love that. I was expecting the battle between Garter and Snake to be a little more drawn out.
Yeah.
Just because they like to show off their animation of like fight choreography, which I'm never complaining. It always looks freaking awesome.
Yeah, but I think they just wanted to really reinforce that Snake is a certified badass.
This is very true. There was a point where Arnheid refers to her son as like lost, and it was kind of like lost as in still alive potentially.
Yeah.
Which, like, I guess.
But people refer to loss as death, like death as loss. So
yeah. So who knows?
Yeah. I did remember to put some context for one of my notes because I just wrote men.
Oh yeah, he should have listened.
And I followed it up with they shouldn't make decisions.
Men should not make decisions. Garter should have listened to his fucking wife because she was right.
Yep.
Also learned that she's Swedish.
Yeah, that's fun. Makes sense based on her appearance.
But yeah, he should have listened.
Yeah, why? They're all like, yeah, let's go get this stuff and then we'll have more money. His whole thing about like the power balance being off, it's like, what does that matter? You're
I
living
don't
your
know about
own
that.
lives. You are just fine living your own lives over in your village.
Mhm.
Don't worry about everybody else. Like, again, men.
And then, rather predictably, her village was ransacked. She had to have ended up here somehow.
Yeah, which it's interesting because I think what they were implying was that the people who ransacked their village knew that the men were going to leave, and so they were just kind of like lying in wait, and as soon as all the men were gone, that was when they were going to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Versus they like attacked all the men first and then went to the village.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I don't know.
I was a little unclear on that.
I was a little bit unclear on that as well. And I just feel bad for her, man.
Yeah, I hope we find out what happened to the kid because they only show him being dragged away, essentially.
Do hope we find out what happened to Yelty. And then there's this fucking bombshell.
Mm-hmm. 2 episodes in a row.
2 episodes.
She has a husband.
She has a husband, and apparently Kettle got her pregnant. So that's fucking great.
Husband and a baby. Surprise husband, surprise baby.
I wrote
that she's pregnant.
That video is fucking iconic.
But I feel like this adds such a layer of complication because no way she can leave now.
Yeah, no way she can leave now. Her husband is still alive, and he's not going to be fucking happy about that, one would assume.
Yeah, well, because, like, if she's having the master's child, there's no way he's going to give up his child. So the only way she can be with that child is to stay there.
And, like...
it's like, she's not going to...
She kind of sounds like she kind of sounds like she was planning, like she's still planning on staying. She's like, oh, I like want to like raise my child here. I'm like, yeah. Your husband's like I'm like, he's captured right now, which is kind of a snag, but like, girl, he came back for you.
Yeah, and it's, man, that's one of those things where, yes, she is a slave, but at the same time, this child is going to be the child of the person who owns the place and could probably live a much better and safer life than they would anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Which like is fucked up, but you're correct in pointing it out.
Yeah, but it's like, again, she's technically a slave. She is not free, but would her life be that much better?
Yeah.
You know,
this was a horrible time to be alive, just like in general. You weren't having a good time.
No, terrible options on all sides.
Pretty much.
So, I mean, it's interesting that I was like, when I said that there was no way she was leaving, your mind went to the husband, my mind went to Einar.
And that's God, because like clearly
he so badly wants her to be free,
and I think she kind of likes him too.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is all just very messy.
Yeah, it's hard to say because it's weird that she never gave any hint of having a husband or a child.
Yeah, which I wonder if that was because of her weird situationship with Kettle.
But like they'd known each other for years at that point.
This is also very true.
And they knew nothing about her background.
Yeah, basically. I'm kind of surprised that it never came up. But
we talk about it all the time.
Yeah, who knows? My hot take here, though, is that if Einar really loves her, he will listen to what she's saying.
Yeah. Which he is. You know, like, when she asks him not to, like, go after them or whatever, wait for the storm to pass. He listens to her. He
Yeah,
doesn't
he does
try to do anything.
And we get some
Good
backstory
boy.
for the old master, which was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, which is not even just the old master, but it's like Ketil's past as well.
Yeah. Which
Very sad.
Yeah, big. You usually when you get backstory, just like in general in this show, it's never good.
But if things had worked out differently and Ketil had married that woman instead, he wouldn't have had the horrific children. Yes.
This is also very true. Yeah, all of his children suck.
The completely sociopathic monster.
Yeah, you've got Thorgil, who wants to just like kill anything that moves, and Omar, who just flat out sucks.
He's a coward who talks big and
yeah, he's a fucking man-child.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's going on with them because we don't really know.
Boy,
anything.
oh boy. We'll leave that for our speculation as to our next batch of episodes.
Mhm.
But do you have anything else to say about episode 14?
Nope, this was the fewest notes I had for today. Was this one?
Understandable. 15 beginning with what a fucked up reunion.
Yeah.
Just like you're captured, but you finally see your wife again.
Which it's like, in the context of the time period, the fact that you would get to see each other at all is incredible.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The odds of you both being sold into slavery in different places to actually find each other and have the opportunity to talk, it's wild.
Yeah, no, absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I thought it was adorable, by the way, that that guest, as they call them, like he was supposed to take her back, but she just looks at him, and he's just
like, "Oh god damn it!"
Like I'm imagining, like she must be so pretty. Like it's hard to tell, with animation. I'm trying to.
I mean, like,
but
I think the way they draw her is pretty, but like, no, I get what you mean.
Yeah, there's just not as much variation, I guess, in faces because they're more simplified. But he's really bad at lying.
He is really bad at lying.
You know what you shouldn't do when you're lying is when you're finished saying the lie, immediately say, "I'm not lying."
Yeah, no. That's generally
bad.
not how it works. Usually doesn't help. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Normally, if you're not lying, you don't need to specify that you're not.
These guards are so fucking nasty, by the way.
I hate every one of these guests.
Yeah, terrible.
No, they're all bad people.
But when Arnheid is talking to Garter, at least he kind of realizes that he should be begging for forgiveness in this situation because she was fucking right.
Yeah, no, he seems like a really solid dude.
A little deranged, but who can blame him?
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, he like we don't really know what happened to him when he was in slavery, but he mentioned something about like the humiliation and stuff that he was put through over years. Like I imagine day after day for years.
I'm sure that fucking breaks you.
So really, he's doing pretty well.
He really kind of is doing pretty well. And again, he realizes that she was right.
Yes.
Which, like, that's a lot coming from a man in that time period.
Yeah, right? He's, like, apologizing? Like, wow.
Crazy.
Incredible.
And then he literally just rips a man's throat out with his teeth.
That idiot should have known better than to let his guard down.
He really should have. That was all, like, frankly, that's on him, as far as I'm concerned.
You're really gonna lean in toward this utter beast.
Yeah, who's clearly shown himself capable of taking down multiple people. It was 3 against 1, and they still had trouble capturing him in the first place.
Yeah. And you're gonna lean close to him, but not even look at him?
Yeah, no. Very stupid idea.
Yeah. No, he deserved that.
And for a minute, I was kind of wondering if Arnheid was actually going to cut him loose, which she does. But they make you wonder for just a second there.
Yeah, although, I mean, I honestly do not know what I would have done in her place.
Oh, no, I have absolutely no fucking idea.
I think I just would have remained there frozen until somebody else came and did something.
Yep.
Because it's
Yeah,
like,
I can't say I would react much better.
because it's like on one hand, it's your husband. You know they're gonna kill him if you don't set him free. You have this opportunity to like be with him and run away together. But also, what are the odds you're gonna get away? And if you don't, you're both dead. And also, you have this child to think about.
Yeah, it's really not pretty, however you
Like,
slice it.
no, I would just be just completely frozen until someone physically moved me.
Mm-hmm. And Einar, he is going through it.
The poor
Can't
boy.
blame him.
Yeah. No, he's having a bit of a time.
But I don't want to cause problems for Arnheid. King shit.
Yeah, again, that's true love.
That is true love, which kind
He
of
listens to her.
makes me sad that the whole situation just got that much more complicated because clearly he fucking loves her.
Yeah. Which it's like that's this selfless response and that's how you know it's like a selfish person would be so mostly focused on the emotions that they're experiencing and like wanting to fight for the person and giving into their anger, and they would try to like justify it by like, oh yeah, no, I did this stuff, but it was to protect that other person or whatever. It's like,
Nope,
they
and he's
told
not.
you not to.
He doesn't even
They
try to
did not
delude
want.
himself.
Yeah, they do not want you to do that. That is very presumptive of you. And like it's very selfish because you're doing it because that's what you want to do, not because the other person wants you to.
Mm-hmm.
Just I love Einar.
Yeah, he's a great character.
Mm.
Thorfinn really has come such a long way.
He's a different person.
He truly is a different guy, like wanting to like atone for everything that he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Just insane.
Yeah, which again, talking about like all the people he's like carrying on his back, and
It's a lot.
yeah, he's like a Jenga tower. If you try to put one more on top, he's just gonna boink.
Yeah, I can see that. And since Einar kind of seems to be like floundering as for what to do now, that because he was like, oh, I want to stay here and maybe help free Arnheid, and that doesn't seem like it's an option anymore.
Yeah, he's got to know that, right?
I would hope so. I'm wondering if he's gonna kind of join Thorfinn on his like his very lofty quest.
Yeah.
Shall we put it?
He seems very interested in it.
Which, like, you love to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I imagine if he did join him, it would mostly be because it's not really reason to stay if he can't free Arnheid, but also like knowing she has a husband.
Yeah, I feel like things have changed regardless.
Yeah, he might realize that he's gonna be friend zoned.
Yeah, or like things have changed however you slice it.
Yeah.
I will say though, Einar does make some good points about fighting being necessary sometimes.
Yeah.
This is a trope that ever so slightly annoys me personally, is the character who will never fight no matter what. Come on, man.
It is annoying.
But again,
because
that's just me.
No matter how opposed you are to fighting, no matter how good a person you are, there are always going to be shitty people.
Mm-hmm. And they need to get their shit rocked.
Yeah. And that's the only way. What are you going to do? Like, non-violent protest, like sit in front of them?
It's not going to work.
Yeah. So it is necessary. You don't have to instigate it, but you might have to perpetrate some violence for protection and defense.
Precisely. Was that Hordaland in that little flashback?
Was it?
Maybe?
I don't know that I noticed.
I'm trying to remember who it was that said all that stuff to Thorfinn about, like, what the hell was it? The quote is just out of my reach mentally. But it's like all this stuff about like whatever the hell it was where she just read him immediately. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Like, yeah, when he was like sitting out eating food on like
Out
the
in the
boat.
snow by
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she just read him
Could've been.
instantly. I think that was her. I could be wrong. And my final question regarding this episode is what happened to Arnheid? Like, where are we going? What's gonna happen now?
Yeah, like I feel like most of this episode was essentially just like a conversation between Einar and Thorfinn.
Yeah, pretty much.
But we do,
And like that's not necessarily a criticism. Like that's not a criticism.
No.
It's just that there's like less like it's less plot driven, so there's a little less to talk about.
But I mean, despite that, they still end in what seems to be pretty much characteristic style for this show with like cliffhanger, because we see Garter in the old master's house, which to me makes sense. Like, of course he would go there, because I think what they were implying is that the old master is very much sympathetic to Arnheid.
Yeah,
because he heard her story, like when she was telling them about what happened to her and her child,
and then he had this whole thing, you know.
And he was clearly very upset hearing about her kid, right? And then tells his story and how he relates to her. So I think he is very much sympathetic to her and might even intentionally try to hide her and Garter.
It's possible. I could definitely see it happening, or it doesn't seem like the most far-fetched thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, we only see Garter. We don't actually see Arnheid in the house.
Yeah, so like that's why I was just kind of wondering, but
I feel like they have to be together. Like, where else would she be?
You make an excellent point.
So yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is that like when we pick back up with it, they're going to be hiding out there, and the old master is going to be like complicit.
I can see that happening.
I'm surprised they didn't check that house though, knowing that he's like senile and kind of feeble. Like, they could very easily just, overtake him and
yeah, would not be a problem, but whatever.
Yeah. But sure, stab all the hay bales first.
I will say Ketil's gonna come back to a real clusterfuck.
Man, that guy
he's got enough problems as it is.
What an unfortunate man.
Oh boy.
Cursed with 2 idiot sons that caused
that have put him on the king's shit list.
I mean, to be fair, he was already
going to be on the king's shit list anyway, but they've put him on the king's shit list in an even worse way than he already was.
But he did nothing wrong.
He did literally nothing wrong.
He's done nothing. But he gets these 2 stupid ass sons who make his life so difficult. And then he's going to come home to this farm as a fugitive to find
this.
Like, what, like 5 or 6 guests got killed, and he's got a runaway slave, and he's losing his favorite slave who also is carrying his child.
Oh, now we don't have time to unpack all of that.
Poor Ketil.
You do hate to see it.
I mean, I'm not 100% pro Ketil, because he shouldn't be sleeping with a slave, but just in general, in the context of the time period, he did nothing wrong.
Yeah, in the context of the time period, he did absolutely nothing wrong. I'm wondering if we're going to get a Leif Thorfinn reunion in the next batch of episodes. I feel like it has to happen.
I really hope, because I want to see how Leif reacts to the new Thorfinn.
Yes!
Like,
I must know.
The kinder, gentler Thorfinn who, like, actually cries and, like,
love him.
Laughs. He has emotions other than anger.
Yeah, I would like for Leif to see that.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it seems like it's got to be coming, right? Because the boat's headed that way. With Ketil and the idiots and Leif.
Yeah, I can't really think of another direction they could head in.
Yeah. Although it's interesting to imagine, like, what that situation will be like when Ketil learns what's been going on. He doesn't know about the pregnancy.
Yeah, yikes. So,
She's like, because she says, I'm sure he will embrace this child. Like,
you are so right. Yikes.
but like,
are you sure about
will
that,
he?
though?
Because he's already, I know she does say that he was like wanting a baby, but I don't think he wanted it from her, is the thing. Like,
Yeah. And also, like, he has a wife.
well, that's what I mean. Like, he would probably hope that his wife would have another baby, but like, that's an illegitimate child, which is probably a problem.
I would assume so, especially in a patrilineal society.
Yeah. I mean, I assume his wife knows about her because everybody seems to know.
I don't know if I want his wife to know or not. I don't know if either of those options is better. They're both pretty bad.
I feel like it's such an open secret because everybody seems to know.
Yeah, this is also very
the slaves,
true.
the farmhands, everybody. But yeah, I don't think he's going to receive it that well. I mean, he basically
I don't think so.
Love her, I believe he sort of implies.
Kind of.
I mean, so maybe emotionally he might be kind of like jazzed about it, but like on a more practical, you know.
Yeah, I don't think this is really going to end well for anybody involved, unfortunately.
No. And but if Arnheid is on the run when he gets there, will he even find out that she's pregnant?
Who fucking knows?
Because at this point, if she has freed Garter and she is now on the run with him, because
yeah, they might dip.
Point, yeah, I mean, they have to. She can't stay there at that point because they will kill her for freeing him. So it's like she has no choice but to run. So she can't see Kettle anymore, meaning she can't tell him about the baby.
Yeah.
And so what does she do? Have this baby and raise it with her husband on the lam. Replacement kid?
This is gonna get messy.
Yeah. Yeah. We only have 6 more episodes, so 2 more weeks of this.
Fuck, we only doing this 2 more times? That's kind of sad.
Yeah. Right? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah.
Well, there's always season 3, whenever that...
I was going to say, which doesn't yet exist.
Which doesn't yet exist, but whenever that happens, we can come back.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so, but keeping that in mind that we're, 6 episodes from the end, I feel like there's so many loose ends that need wrapped up.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of them are going to remain loose ends because I don't know where. Hello?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there.
I don't know where the manga is, narratively, if that's close to wrapping up and they're just starting to, make it into an anime series. So, I don't know. There could be, and I'm purposely not Googling it because I don't want any spoilers. There could be so much more fucking story, which I wouldn't be surprised by because there's saga in the name.
Yeah. Well, and we've kind of done what I don't want to say we complained about in the first season, but we have so many different storylines going at once.
Mm-hmm.
So these 3 episodes were focused entirely on Kettle's farm and mostly Arnheid, but we didn't see anything about Kettle and his sons in Leif. We didn't see anything with Canute. We haven't seen Thorkel in a while.
Yeah. And the fact that the entire first season was essentially a prologue makes me feel like there's going to be a lot of this.
It's going to go endlessly, yeah.
Which, not complaining.
No. Although I would like a little more action.
I could go for that, but I'm kind of holding out hope that we'll get back there at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of messed up, but I like a nice brutal fight scene.
I can't blame you. Do we have anything else to say about this batch of episodes?
I don't think so. I mean, we hit all my notes. I don't know that
again, this has been What do we got coming up?
I'm gonna assume defend tomorrow because
I do believe defenestration hour tomorrow.
Big Dumb Monsters Monday.
Big Dumb Monsters Monday. No regrettable reviews Tuesday. We have to figure out what dates we're gonna be doing regrettable reviews because May is coming up and that is Reanimator. So we're gonna be doing Reanimator and Bride of Reanimator. At some point during the month of May, I have to figure out exactly what dates those are. So your second guest episode of Regrettable Reviews is getting pushed out until June. So sorry, bestie.
Whatevs.
But we will be talking about Evolution eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got Saratoga Comic-Con coming up, getting real close. We're like, what, 10 days away? It's gonna be a fucking blast. 9 days. Oh, even better. 9 days till Saratoga Comic-Con. God, it is going to be so much fun. We're going to have our table. There's going to be a trivia panel. We're going to be doing a Battle of the Movies panel with Assad. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. And we're probably
movie.
Yeah, I still have to watch the movie too. It's okay. I haven't started yet either.
I'm glad I remembered.
There we go. But yeah, Saratoga Comic-Con is going to be a great fucking time. If you are in the capital region, if you are like anywhere close, get your ass to Saratoga Comic-Con. Yeah. You're going to have an awesome time.
In our network group chat today, they were talking about the trophy for trivia, which they say was King Kong on a toilet?
Something like that. So, iconic.
Yeah. Which is going to be engraved. So that's
there
nice.
You go. So yeah, we've got that coming up. Let me actually, while I'm thinking about things we got coming up, go to thebulletbee.com and use code MONSTERMEAD at checkout for $5 off your online mead order. We love the Bull and Bee here at the network. I cannot wait to do another event there because every time I've gone there has been so much fun. And also their mead is absolutely delicious. It fucking slaps.
It is delightful.
So enjoy that. And
it's a cat.
Hi, Nix. I think that's everything.
Yeah. We'll be back with an episode next week.
Yes, we will be back to our regularly scheduled programming next week. And that is that episode will definitely have dates for our Reanimator streams.
It's kind of funny, like we missed one episode and it was only supposed to be yesterday, but it feels like a lifetime since the last episode.
And for what?
And and I made a list of dumb things I said in class on a particularly unhinged day, and by the time I get to talk about them, it'll be almost 2 weeks since.
Still, I'm glad that you did that.
But it's wild because my notes on them are just unhinged on their own.
You love to see it. All right, yeah, I think that's going to bring us to a close for the evening. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. We appreciate it. We'll be back again next week to talk about the next 3 episodes of Vinland Saga. And then after that, we're going to be done.
Woo!
Crazy. Yeah. All right, we will see y'all then. Adios.